math is fun.
Hi everyone, I'm Maggie. I'm a fruit farmer in Harveston Village. Hey, let's harvest the fruits in this garden. There are many fruits here. And let's group it according to the color of the fruit, okay? Do you know, these fruits also can called as a set. This is a set of red color fruit. And this is the set of yellow color fruit. The set is a collection of objects that are clearly defined, like the red fruit set, whose members are apples, cherries, and strawberries, and the members of the set are under the same criteria. Nah, the set of red color fruits can be presented as follows. Wah, interesting question. Okay, so the set was found by Mr. George Ferdinand Cantor, or we can call him as Mr. Cantor. Mr. Cantor is a great mathematician around 1870. Nah, this is a short biodata about him. Hey, we done to harvest the fruit. Let's accompany me to the market. We need to sell these fruits so we can get the money. No way! My fruits are full! Now my basket is empty. It looks like an empty set, you know? Do you know what is empty set? Empty set is a set that doesn't have any elements. Like, my basket right now. There is no fruit at all.
Hello, Miss Mickey. What's wrong with you?
Oh, hi, Mr. Ben. Well, I was planning to sell my harvest fruits to the market, but sadly, I didn't realize they were falling one by one, and now all of my fruits are gone.
I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Mickey. So, what do you want to do after this?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go back to my garden or my house. Oh, do you have any reference place for me to entertain myself? Maybe?
I happen to want to go to the city museum, but I don't think going alone is fun. Perhaps you like to come with me?
Wow, it seems interesting. Alright, I'll come with you.
The museum is over there, Miss Mickey.
Wow, it looks big. What is inside?
Inside, there will be a lot of knowledge about the past, and it will definitely be useful for us.
Let's go! Wow, it's very spacious inside, Mr. Ben. And there are so many items on display.
That's right, Miss Mickey. There are many items on display here, such as painting, sculptures, and so on. Interestingly, there is also a video exhibition. Let's watch it.
Let's go!
Everyone, please listen too.
Wow.
Hello everyone, in here we will learn about the development of a set. So, the development of set material began with George Boole, who introduced the concept of empty set, or nothing as he called it, as the complement to the universe in his mathematical analysis of logic in the 1847. His notation for them were simply 0 and 1 respectively. Then, in the 1880, Cantor, who introduced the concept of set, wrote, "For the absence of point, we choose the letter O." After that, Frege, the founder of mathematical logic, interpreted null class as extension of the concept not identical with itself rather than a collection of objects and used design for it. Then in the 1889, Peano used design for both null class and false in his axiomatization of arithmetic. But in the 1908, Zermelo axiomatizing set theory went back to the ball zero, and so did Hausdorff in his influential book Grundzüge der Macherlehre in 1814. Hausdorff was the first to use empty set in its modern purely extensional meaning. Before him, there was always an air of intentional null class to it, and even Zermelo stimulated extensionally as a separate assumption. Finally, the modern symbol of empty set, which is this and this, was indeed introduced in 1939 by Andrew Weil and gained wide acceptance after its use in the Bourbaki volumes.
Well, the explanation at the museum was very interesting, miss. But there is one question that I have not answered yet. What is the characteristic that differentiates the empty set from sets in general?
As far I know, the characteristic that distinguish the empty set from the sets in general are that the empty set is a unique. Why it is unique? Because the empty set is a subset of all sets including itself. And in addition, the empty set has a cardinality of 0 because it has no members.
Miss Maggie, I wanna ask again. What is the use of the empty set in everyday life?
There are many use of empty set in our life. One of them is when we are searching on the internet, sometimes the results don't appear right. Nah, that's because the Google use if-else Boolean logic. While the searching not found, it means that it is the empty set. The empty set in Boolean algebra is 0. The value 0 signifies the nothingness. Now, without an empty set, the system or Google search engine will find it difficult to distinguish between invalid or error data and valid data that is empty. Like that.
How can empty set material can be applied at school?
Right now, the empty set is one of mathematics material taught at school. Nah, students got this material while they're on phase D, or we call it also junior high school. And this empty set material is studied together with a universal set. Now, for many model learnings that exist, problem-based learning is suitable for learning models that accompanied by students' worksheet to teach the empty set material. And for the further explanation, it will be explained by our narrator.
Hello everyone, this video will explain the PBL model, which is suitable for use in class to learn about the empty set topic. Problem-based learning, or PBL, is a learning method that begins with a real-world problem. Instead of being given formula or definition directly, students are encouraged to solve relevant and challenging problems. In mathematics, problem-based learning is very useful. Students don't just memorize formula, but also develop critical thinking, collaboration, and communication skills. Now, let's see how problem-based learning is implemented in learning about the empty set. Begin with the presentation of a problem. For example, in the library, Andy is looking for a book titled Physics for Elementary Student, but it turns out there is not a single book with that title. Then the teacher may ask, what is the set of books that match this request? Are there any? From here, students begin to think that perhaps there is a set with no elements at all. This becomes their starting point for understanding the concept of an empty set. Next, students are divided into groups. Their task is to find examples of empty set from everyday life. Examples include the number of students born on June 31 or the number of animals with 16 legs. They are free to think and discuss together. The teacher then guides them with a follow-up question such as, how do you write a set that has no element? What is the symbol for it? Students begin to learn that the empty set is written using empty curly bracket like this, or a special symbol like this. They write this down and represent it using a Venn diagram. Each group prepares and presents their discussion result. They explain their example of empty set, how to write them, and their diagram. For instance, one group concludes the set of odd numbers divisible by 2 is an empty set. Student creativity also emerges as they create interesting presentation. The final stage is reflection. The teacher may ask, what did you learn today? What still confused you? And how did your group work together? Students also write down their conclusion, and the teacher reinforces the concept, for example, by distinguishing an empty set from a set that contains one element. That's how problem-based learning can make learning mathematics more fun and meaningful, starting from real problems, encouraging discussion and teamwork. Let's keep learning actively and critically. See you on the next video.
I'm happy with your explanation, Miss Mickey. Very interesting.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. I also happy I can share my knowledge with you and with all of you guys. So that was the history, uniqueness, and the usefulness of the empty set in our daily life. From the empty set, we learned that having nothing can be an important foundation in the set system. Isn't it interesting? Well, but unfortunately, our season now must be ended here. And see you again in the next Mathematics Facts. Bye-bye!